May I have your attention, please, everyone? Now I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Atam Dhawan. He's going to be doing presentation, and he's the Vice Provost for Research at NJIT. So please welcome Dr. Dhawan.
Good afternoon. So before lunch, even though I was scheduled, but my advisor, when I was doing the Ph.D. dissertation, he told me that never stand between the audience and the lunch. So I told Sapna that, okay, how about half an hour later? So here I am. I thank you very much for coming and celebrating the student success and the research accomplishments today. And this is wonderful arrangement, a concept, and obviously very successful one because we are doing the 10th anniversary of the Graduate Students Association's Research Day. So first of all, please join me in thanking the organizers and joining me in congratulating them to a wonderful celebration and successful day. So I'm not gonna talk about anything specific so much deep into the research because you just started doing the research and you are doing in very, very different fields. What I'm going to talk about today, that what is the next step, that you are experiencing the research, what do you do with it, right? So specifically how research converts into an innovation and then converts into the leadership and making an impact in the society. Now, isn't that something logical trend? But it's not so simple. So let's talk about that a little bit. What is research that you have just started? So some people will say, well, research leads to new knowledge, some discoveries, and some solutions that you haven't seen before. And that may be called as an invention, like Pierre Curie, radioactivity, or Madame Curie, radioactivity, or this morning we learned about Bohr's model. That was new discovery. So that was through the research. But what do you do and how do you define the research? So Albert Nobel laureate in 1937, Nobel Prize winner for medicine said, research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. Kind of reminding me a remark this morning when said, okay, the apple fall and Newton thought about there has to be some gravity. But everybody saw in their lives apple falling all the time. Everybody, when they got into the bathroom in the tub, saw the water spilled out, but it was only Archimedes who saw, oh, there has to be a reason for it. And there was the new discovery, the volume and the density relationship. So that means what? Keep your eyes open. See how the research can be converted into an invention and then becomes an innovation. So what's the difference between the two? We'll say, okay, when we are talking about the future, Alan Kay said, the inventor of Windows graphical users interface, I have been trying to be very loyal to PC, but no more. I'm just turning into the Apple products. But anyway, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. That's why we do it. And I'm going to give you a very specific example that you probably have not thought about it in a few minutes. So why we are looking after innovation is creating or developing something new is invention, right? A new discovery, gravity, Newton apple. But something new with an added value that actually you could use that particular invention in order to create a product or in order to create a business or what is called entrepreneurship to make a difference in the society, to change the behavior of the people around us, or to sustain a healthy environment in the planet, things like that. That's what is called innovation, right? So it has to have an added value to it. But one thing which is a very characteristic behavior of innovation is that this is an opportunity to change. Now, some of us probably don't want to change. We have this particular inertia. Oh no, this is our tradition. We used to do this all the time. You know, Thanksgiving, eat turkey. But sometime you have to take a change. And that particular change is very essential for the society to grow, to bring in economic growth, and to get you out of some of the situations like recession. So this innovation brings change. And what do we do with it? For example, there is a question, not a Jeopardy question, but it's what is common among these? CNN, MTV, Hyatt, AT&T, Merck, FedEx, 20th Century Fox, Sun, Texas Instrument, Apple, Microsoft, Disney. You all probably see that they are all leaders in invention and innovation and in product development. Well, what is common among them? Anyone? They all were created during recessions, all of them. That's what invention brings you, an opportunity to change and to get the next step in terms of the economic growth. So it is very essential. Otherwise, once we get into the recession, there will not be any mechanism to get out of it. So in other words, the crisis brings people thinking about change, and that thinking brings the new opportunities. So research, innovation, they create leaders, just like you saw these global multinational companies that have changed our lives. And I wasn't kidding around when I said that I'm converting from PC to Apple. Here is a quote from Steve Jobs, and it says, research and innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. So whether you like iPhone 5 or 6 or 6 Plus or not, but it is still the fact that the most of the profit in the smartphone, in the market share, belongs to iPhone. Okay? So that's the leadership. So research and entrepreneurial leadership, what is the characteristic behavior of that? That entrepreneur is a leader, a creator, and a catalyst of change through research and innovation for economic growth. This one sentence may sound like, logical, but it is very complex. It is not a trivial thing to bring the research, convert into an innovation, and be successful through the roadmap of entrepreneurship and make an impact in the economy. But that's what the ball game is, right? So in other way, it is very, very important for today for us to learn that pathway. It's not the same world in 18th or 19th century that we leave the business and the economic development to certain fraction of the people in the society, and we say, okay, I'm just going to graduate, do a 9-to-5 job, and whatever, as I've been told, I will be following that. Today is the time to invent the future. Today is the time to take the leadership and control in your hand and say, what is the value proposition for this particular research to be converted into a product, to bring businesses around it, and to make a difference in the society, not only in the quality of the life or the way that we live and we want to live, but also in creating the jobs and making an impact. So this is where, this is a little bit that what I was thinking about to tell you, that notice that this is a newspaper from 1924, right? And it used to cost 25 cents. I think there was a lot of money in 1924, 25 cents, a quarter. But what it said to you says radio doctor, maybe. And what it said, look here, stick your arm there, hold this there, and the doctor will write you a prescription through telemedicine. This is what we call today. Some people say telemedicine is now and this and that, but it was invented, or at least thought about it, when there was no high-speed internet around in 1924. And they said, yeah, there is a certain value proposition to both physicians and the patient not to go in the office and wait for 30 minutes to get the appointment, right? There are certain things that could be done, which we call today on demand, anytime, the information everywhere. So what we do around here is bringing research and innovation impact to our students and work through the faculty and the external collaborators so that we can create a knowledge base with the student and faculty, but we also use this mechanism in order to train our students to become future leaders, because we just established the research and innovation leads to leadership and, and then to economic growth, to make a societal impact, and in that particular process, we will make a global impact. So we have certain programs, and I wanted to just give a little briefing about the programs that we have been working with faculty from several colleges, including the School of Management. I just see Michael Ehrlich sitting over here, who heads the program of minor in innovation and entrepreneurship. So goal over here is educating future leaders, and what it requires is research, design, innovation, and understanding of entrepreneurship. They say, when I was working on my device, Nevoscope, for optical imaging of skin cancers, and I got my first grant from NIH, my program director told me, so are you happy now? You got the $2 million grant? I said, yeah, but I want to see this device in the market within the 5 years. And I was just 26 years old at that time, and he looked at me and he laughed. And I felt I was insulted. I said, why are you laughing? And he's asked me, so what makes you think that you're going to bring this device into the market in the hands of dermatologists in 5 years? I said, I got everything. I got proof of concept. I have a prototype over here. All that I have to do is ask somebody to manufacture it, and here it goes. You know, it's in the hands of the people. And I said, that's why I was laughing. So then he told me that the average time period for getting from the laboratory prototype to the bed in the clinic, it takes 13 to 14 years. And he told me that. And I said, no way, I'm going to break this. And by the time, actually, when the grant was awarded, or I had defended my Ph.D. dissertation, to the point, the first company, 3Gen in California, started manufacturing what the product is called Dermalite today. It was 14 years. It was. So then I started thinking about why it is so. Yeah, I made certain mistakes and certain processes. There was a learning process around it to take the research to innovation to entrepreneurship. The question was, being in engineering school, who was there to teach me that pathway? Nobody, right? So we thought that today, the NJIT vision is to bring the future leaders, technology leaders, society leaders, the people who think differently, but they should know the pathways. And that's why we are creating these particular programs and reinventing, in a sense, our research enterprise, that how we should enhance it and how we should incorporate with innovation and entrepreneurship. So the Office of the Research promotes the highest quality scholarly research and innovation at NJIT for advancing knowledge base through new discoveries, basic, applied, and translational research. It is a seamless integration, and we are not underestimating or undermining anymore the power of the undergraduate students' research and innovation. And in fact, it should not be that way, because many of the people today, I heard the statement, which actually very, very right, that most of the people who created the basis for the research and the discoveries that led to Nobel Prize and so, they were all done around the age of 35 years. And in order to get prepared to that particular point, we just have to start early, but again, it is no longer affordable for us not to give an opportunities to innovate and be creative and be imaginator for undergraduate students, and for that matter, even for high school students. So we are putting this paradigm and this vision where faculty, undergraduate students, graduate students, postdocs, they work together for a transformational change with the external world, the community, the businesses, industry, and our new NJIT corporation that's called New Jersey Innovation Institute. This has actually led us to a certain successes, certain earlier successes. This particular program, Interdisciplinary Design Studio with undergraduate research and innovation, has actually created 2 commercial contracts with 2 different companies. One for the wearable glucose monitor that is based on optical spectroscopy, and another for creating interactive toys for improving the cognition and the learning efficiencies for children with autism. And certainly, these are the problems that we can get ourselves involved, and we can find the solution and make a difference in the society. At the same time, we are teaching our leaders that roadmap from innovation and research to entrepreneurship, so that the people should not wait for 14 years for a technology to come to their hands. So we are very proud of our research enterprise, and you are the example of that today with the poster sessions going over there, that from the cellular and molecular biology to the functional organ imaging and analysis to cognitive analysis to solar observatory, try to understand the impact of the solar storms to the environment for the sustainability of our planet, to microelectronics, to nanoelectronics and carbon nanotubes, to transportation. So these are the issues that we have to move on in order to find the solutions that can not only make ourselves to live smart, but also sustain the health of our planet, and at the same time create enough businesses and enough jobs to have the prosperity and the opportunities for our younger generation to enjoy. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this rather busy slide, but we just trying to put together our research enterprise in terms of the focus areas and try to see where we should focus our synergies. We can't do everything. We can't solve every problem in the world, but we can pick some of them that we are good at it and take a global leadership in those areas. So they are from neuroscience engineering to point-of-care technologies to green energy, renewable energy, to sustainable infrastructures, to big data, to nanomaterial, to active manufacturing, to engineering particulates. But those are the things that we do well, and we want to take the next level of excellence to get over there and make a difference. And they do correlate with the grand challenges as identified by National Academy of Science, National Academy of Engineering, and several other US and the leading organization. And I'm going to just give you a brief about that we are not working in vacuum. We are training our students to take a leadership role in the areas which are most important for the globe, for the world. The first set over there is no surprise to anybody. Make solar energy economical. We keep on talking about solar cells and everything over there, but this is a very multidisciplinary field, from the material science to the cable communications and transfer of the energy from the generator to the user. Provide energy from fusion, manage the nitrogen cycle, provide access to clean water, restore and improve urban infrastructure. That's why we have the 3 strategic areas for NJIT to work in research and innovation and entrepreneurship. And the first one is the sustainability. That is well aligned with the grand challenges. And the second is the life sciences for NJIT, and that is also well aligned with the grand challenges, the health, informatics, engineering, better medicine, and reverse engineering the brain to learn that how smart thinking and smart devices can be built in the future. And then the data and information system, certainly the security in the cyberspace and enhancing virtual reality to create simulations before you actually take the risk of getting into the real world, whether that is a cardiac surgery or whether it is flying the aeroplane, in which we already have successes in there. And also, in order to improve your learning, academia doesn't have to deliver the education in the same way they used to deliver 100 years ago or 50 years ago. So personalized learning, adaptive learning, engineering the tool of the scientific discovery, how we can help you try out your ideas into some models and try to see that whether it is not going to work or not. It is also not only applicable to the learning or your scientific discovery, it is going to be a big, big step forward for pharmaceutical industry to reduce the time to develop a drug and the expenditure associated with it. So the expectations are high, and you can see in this particular slide that all 3 thematic areas for NJIT come together live. It's the life sciences, it's the big data all around it, and it's the sustainability of life at planet Earth. But expectations are high, and we want to provide our students an education so they can learn better, they can live better, and they can find the pathways from innovation to entrepreneurship to make a difference in the society. Thank you very much.
Dr. Dhawan, that was a fantastic presentation. My name is Mike Ehrlich. I'm the co-director of the New Jersey Innovation Acceleration Center. We're currently sponsoring a competition that is open to all students within Newark, including graduate students here at NJIT, that's called the Newark Innovation Acceleration Challenge. If you want to actually explore the commercialization of your technology, if you want to think about how to take your technology that you learned about from the lab into the business world, this is a good opportunity. If you're willing to answer 4 questions, what's the problem you're proposed to solve? How are you going to do it? How are you going to make any money doing it? And who your competition is and who the competitive space is, you could potentially win $3,000 fellowship that would actually pay you, that you could use for your science and your research, and then you can be part of an accelerator program this summer, which will really help you to launch that business and explore the market. So if you're interested in doing that, you actually need to go to a website, which is NewarkIAC.com. So please go ahead and write that down, NewarkIAC.com. There's going to be a web link and more information about exactly what you need to do, and there's also my email and other information there. So please go ahead. But we would love to see some entries from the graduate students here at NJIT. Historically, the NJIT students have done very well in this competition. We have many prizes to give out of this $3,000 fellowship. I think there's going to be 8 of them all together this year. So hopefully many of the winners are sitting right out here right now. So please, the deadline for submission is November 10th. So you have a few days to work on it. Thanks.
Thank you, and thank you to Dr. Dhawan for the great presentation. And now we would like to contribute him and award him for his time at helping NJIT students for research and emphasizing all the graduate student body. Thank you. Also, thank you for everyone. Hope you guys had a great lunchtime. Now I'm going to introduce Theodore, our GSA treasurer. He will be instructing on presentations for the posters. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not going to be up here for too long, but so lunch is basically over now. I'm not kicking you out, but you can't stay here anymore. So we have presentations upstairs, and it's cut down into 2 phases. The first one is the physical poster, so all the participants can go upstairs, stand next to the posters. We'll have the judges just come by and grade each poster. And then we're trying something new this year, which is basically a mini little presentation. So we have projectors set up upstairs. So if anybody wants to actually have their poster projected and speak for about 5-10 minutes, they can do that. You have the option. We have a schedule listed upstairs. You can explore that option if you like. But at this time, I would like to invite everybody to join me upstairs for the poster presentation.